we're starting out the show with a really fun, easy, delicious, but wow factor of a dessert, perfect for Easter. It's a fudge marble bundt cake, and I love bundt cakes. Why do I love them? Because they're gorgeous, and I am no pastry chef by any means, but they really look cool on a buffet table. And this one is really fun. We're going to decorate it up. It's got a, I also like bunts because you don't really need to frost them, you know, and frosting a cake is kind of a pain. And I'm not a big fan of like canned frosting. I really like homemade frosting. So this has a quick homemade chocolate ganache that is drizzled over this. And ganache I happen to love, and it's a fancy word, but you'll see how easy it is to make. So sip of coffee, we're going to get to work on recipe number 1. Okay, you know me. I love desserts. I love to bake if it's quick and easy and there are shortcuts involved. So this fudge marble bundt cake recipe is actually going to start with a fudge marble boxed cake mix. However, do not follow the recipes on the back of the box. You want to follow my recipe. I found some tips and secrets and tricks to make box cake mixes taste like they're from scratch. Just a few different things that you can add. So to this cake, most box cake mixes say 3 eggs. We're going to do 4 eggs. So that's one of the different changes that we're going to make. Box cake mixes, whenever they go on sale, and they're cheap anyway, but when they go on sale, I like to stock up. Always have a few of them in my pantry. For sure, we've got devil's food and yellow cake mixes. Because when my kids need treats, when do the kids need treats? The night before, exactly. Mom, I need to bring treats. When? I got it handled tomorrow. So if you have a box cake mix on the hand, you're in business. You can make it happen and say no problem. If you don't, you've got to run to the grocery store at the last minute, and you've already got your jammies on, and you know how that goes. Okay, so 4 eggs. Then we've got a cup of sour cream. This is going to be really moist but dense. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, then we've got some oil, canola or vegetable oil, water, and then 1 box of instant vanilla pudding mix. This is another secret. I know a lot of the box cake mixes say they have pudding in the mix. Well, we're going to add some more of it, and the great thing about that is it really does create a very dense but moist cake. Not a big fan of a dried out cake. I don't know many people who are, and this one is not going to be at all. It's going to be fantastic. Get every little bit of sour cream off my spatula here. All right, just use your mixer and beat it up real well. While I'm doing this, a couple of things I want to remind you about. Book Club is back. We've been getting bunches of emails, people asking us, where did Book Club go? Well, it took a little bit of a break. We have a brand new sponsor, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So go out and get the book. You've got just about a month, a little less than a month to read it, and it's a quick read. It's called Girl in Translation. A really great story of a little girl who came over to this country, and you know, she didn't speak the language, and her mother didn't speak the language, and how they got along. It's a very, very inspirational, wonderful story that I think everyone's going to enjoy. So go get the book. You can get it at the library, online, on your Nook, whatever. And then join us for our book club meeting May 14th at 5:30. We're headed to a really neat place in Swamico called the Bottle Room. They're going to be providing complimentary snacks and appetizers, and then we'll just be able to buy a glass of wine or iced tea or whatever, and we'll discuss the book, and it's going to be great, great fun. So see you there. The other big thing I wanted to tell you about is Big Night Out is back. Now, we are going to make you wait until Monday, and we'll announce all the details next week. But it is back, and it is going to be a really great one in May. This is going to be one of the best we've ever had. So watch for the details on Monday. We are going to a local fabulous restaurant, several course meal paired with wines. It's going to be a really great time. So details coming next week. Okay, so got my bundt pan here. Really important to grease and flour it, or cheat a little bit like me and pick up some baking spray, which is fantastic. I want you to note how thick this batter is. Ooh, I almost got ahead of myself. I forgot the marble. Anne's looking at me like, don't forget the marble. Okay, so it's a marble cake mix. So what we're going to do is take a cup of the batter, and inside your box of cake mix is a little pouch of cocoa, like a cocoa mixture. And you're going to mix that with 1 cup of the batter. That would not have been good. I got carried away. I was so excited about the book club and the big night out. So I'm mixing this together, and I'm getting it all over the counter. It's a Friday. It's been a long week. Pretty excited, though. Both kiddos are home, and the kids are like, really, Mom? Do we really have to do an Easter egg hunt? They're getting a little older. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm figuring, you know, if the Easter Bunny puts money in those eggs, those kids might be all about an Easter egg hunt. What do you think? Or gift cards. I know Riley said, just no basket. Not carrying a basket. He's in college, so okay.
Inside or outside?
The egg hunt?
Yeah.
To be determined. Anne said, is it inside or outside? I'm pretty sure that they're going to insist that it's going to be inside so that no one sees them running around the yard with baskets. We have a bunch of little kids in our neighborhood. Can you imagine a 20-year-old and teenager out there? Mom made me do it. Okay, so we're going to take this really thick, yummy batter that we've jazzed up with extra eggs and pudding mix, sour cream. Really is almost more of like it's so nice and dense, it's kind of almost like a pound cake. Bundt cakes are back. They're seriously on trend. I was in the Twin Cities recently, and there are actually, you know how like cupcake bakeries are very much on trend? Well, now they actually have Bundt cake bakeries, and they make mini bunts, and they make all sorts of different bunts. So be trendy and make a Bundt cake this Easter. I am just giving you all sorts of gifts. You get to lick this spatula too. Okay. So now you take, you can take spoonfuls of the chocolate batter and just kind of dollop that around. I remember Bundt cakes growing up with, or marble cakes. I haven't had a marble cake in forever. So this is kind of fun with the chocolate and vanilla. It satisfies everybody. And one of my kids likes chocolate. The other one likes yellow cake. So this is a great way to make both kiddos happy. All righty. Thank you very much, Anne. So at this point, you take a knife and you just kind of get in there and swirl this around. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to look really cool after it bakes. Because you'll see bits of that chocolate running through it. Now, Bundt cakes take a little longer to bake. What, about 40 minutes maybe, Anne, was this? Keep an eye on it. Do the old toothpick test. You know, every oven is different. So, all right. Now, for the chocolate ganache. And Anne's going to make me do this on air. She says, trust. Usually, fingers crossed on this one. Usually we've had no problems getting this out, but we'll see. First I'm going to make the ganache, and then we're going to get this beautiful cake out of there. The ganache, I'm going to heat some cream, heavy cream. Ganache is simply a wonderful, really, it's just a mixture of heavy cream, and I like to use semi-sweet chocolate chips. And it's just a really rich, delicious mixture. And then I'm just going to do just a tad, a tablespoon or two of light corn syrup. I'm going to heat that with the cream. I heat that in the microwave. And then I'm going to invert my Bundt cake and hope for the best. All right. When I do this, I always like to do the plate over. And I normally like to do this, you know, just a few minutes after baking. This sat for a little bit longer. That's why I was a little bit nervous. I've let the cake sit in there too long, and then it tends to stick to the pan. But this baking spray really is genius. Love it. And woohoo! Yay! And I did not have faith, and I should have. Isn't it pretty? It doesn't really, at this point, doesn't really need much of anything. But we're going to make it a real wow factor. And I do like some sort of a glaze on top of my Bundt cakes. So I want to heat this cream. And I'll show you how easy this ganache is to make. It's such a fancy word, and people get all intimidated by it. Your cream needs to be very hot, though. So hopefully this will be hot enough. And to this, we're going to add chocolate chips. And that's a ganache. Told you it was easy. And when the hot cream heats the chocolate chips, hopefully it'll melt it right away. If it doesn't, throw it back in the microwave. And we can melt them that way. I like to heat the cream, and then you don't have to really do the whole double boiler method. I'm not a big fan of just sticking straight up chocolate chips in the microwave. So that's why I heat the cream and then put the chocolate in here. All right, so I'm just going to continue to whisk this, and I'll show you how I drizzle this over the top and then decorate it up. Really a fun thing to make for Easter, and we'll put the recipe on our website. Coming up, some more last-minute ideas for Easter, including some decorating ideas, eggs and hash, and beef tenderloin too, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.